Somebody's dead. What's a skeever? Okay, I think I found a lady who's even more underdressed than I am. Which is impressive considering that I'm running around with my guns out. But, fuck it. Let's stop sneaking. There we go. Don't need the arrows. This I can actually sell. You can keep the arrows, ma'am. They don't sell for anything, so. Fur bikini, yeah. Yeah, she was wearing a literal fur bikini, which was quite hilarious. Especially in this weather. Like, I know we have a fire here, but still, this place is half open. There is wind. Like, do you imagine, can you imagine how much you would freeze wearing that stuff? Also, why are these guys killing each other? What's going on here? Like, are you different bandits from different camps? Or because she said she wanted her share, so I'm guessing they sold the claw and they are trying to like fight over who gets how much. It's the best that I can reckon. Well, I'll take all of that. It's all stuff that we can sell. Got a woodcutter's axe. Oh, maybe I can do woodcutting jobs for, what was his name? Hod? No? Oh god. And we are once again running out of inventory, out of weight. Well, the game does remember... Oh, I can't fast travel from inside the temple? Okay, then let's leave for a moment. Because I do want to know if I can now talk to Hod and get to actually do some woodcutting stuff. Yes. So that was a troll. Okay. Wait, is it already nighttime again? Yeah, 8:13 p.m. Holy... The day-night cycle goes fast in this game. Extremely fast.
The sooner you find the trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
Okay, weapons. Sell, 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 sell. Oh! I have to watch out how much gold the vendors have? Are you kidding me? Does the gold regenerate that they have? I'm gonna have to look this up. Skyrim. Does vendor Gold. Regenerate. After 42 hours. You can wait for 24 hours and then wait another 18 hours after. Okay. Let's actually check if that works.
Show those. The sooner you find the. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
Let's see. Weapons. No, he still has no gold. Let's wait a little longer.
The sooner. Take a look.
He still has 0 gold.
Right, don't let the Riverwood trader is. Take a look.
Oh, this is gonna suck. Well, gee, I guess I'll have to be careful about what I take with me. Anyway, let's get back there. I do actually want to finish this quest. I mean, we have 10 minutes, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to finish it. The bodies are still here. We just waited something like 48 hours and the bodies are still here. That's kind of impressive. This game has better corpse permanence than some shooters from the modern days. Which is honestly impressive. Alright. So we already fought these guys. Frozen stiff by now, yeah. I'm surprised that none of the wildlife has come to eat them. Oh, that chest is empty, right. I already plundered that. Are there giant spiders here? Because that looks like there might be giant spiders. And now we're looting graves, okay. I did say I was playing Tomb Raider before we did this, so I should not be shocked. Let's move on. Oh, right, that one is empty. What is this place? Let's see if we can sneak. Oh, wow. Yeah, we are not touching that lever. I'm just saying. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, sir, we're not touching that one. I'll take his gold. Doesn't have anything I need. So this is a puzzle, I take it. Take a potion. I'll not take the wraps and such. Okay, so we've got snake, something, fish. Snake. Fish. Bird. Let's go. Oh no, wait. That's a snake, too. Okay, so we need 2 snakes. Snake, snake, fish. Got it. Ta-da! We are the best. Thief by Revan. If the reader has not yet had the pleasure of reading the first volume in this series on the life of Eslaf Errol Beggar, he should close this book immediately, for I shan't recap. I will tell you this much, gentle reader. When we last saw Eslaf, he was a boy, an orphan, a failed beggar, running through the wild winter woods of Skyrim, away from his home of Errolgard. He continued running, stopping here and there for many more years, until he was a young man. Eslaf discovered that among the ways of getting food, asking for it was the most troublesome. Far easier was finding it in the wilderness, or taking it from unguarded market stalls. The only thing worse than begging to get food was begging for the opportunity to work for the money to buy it. That seemed needlessly complicated. No, as far as Eslaf was concerned, he was best off being a scavenger, a beggar, and a thief. He committed his first act of thievery shortly after leaving Errolgard while in the southern woods of Tambokar, in the rugged land near Mount Jensen, just east of the village of Horbeld. Eslaf was starving, having not eaten anything but a rather scrawny raw squirrel wow, enjoy all your diseases, in 4 days. And he smelled meat cooking and then found the smoke. A band of minstrel bards was making camp. He watched them from the bushes as they cooked and joked and flirted and sang. He could have asked them for some food, but so many others had refused him before. Instead, he rushed out, grabbed a piece of meat from the fire, and wincing from the burns, scrambled up the nearest tree to devour it, while the bards stood under him and laughed. "What is your next move, thief?" giggled a fair, red-headed woman who was covered with tattoos. "How do you intend to disappear without us catching and punishing you?" As the hunger subsided, Eslaf realized she was right. The only way to get out of the tree without falling in their midst was to take the branch down to where it hung over the creek. It was a drop off a cliff about 50 feet. That seemed like the wisest strategy, so Eslaf began crawling in that direction. "You do know how to fall, boy?" called out a young Khajiit, but a few years older than Eslaf, thin but muscular, graceful in his slightest movements. "If you don't, you should just climb down here and take what's coming to you. It's idiotic to break your neck when we just give you some bruises and send you on your way." "Of course I know how to fall," Eslaf called back, but he didn't. He just thought the trick of falling was to have nothing underneath you and let nature take its course. But 50 feet up when you're looking down is enough to give anyone pause. "I'm sorry to doubt your abilities, Master Thief," said the Khajiit, grinning. "Obviously you know how to fall feet first with your body straight, but loose to avoid cracking like an egg. It seems you are destined to escape us." Eslaf wisely followed the Khajiit's hints and leapt into the river, falling without much grace but without hurting himself. In the years that followed, he had to make several more drops from even greater heights, usually after a theft, sometimes without water beneath him, and he improved the basic technique. Okay, so, you don't actually want to do that. Like, from 50 feet up, that's 15 meters. 15 meters into water, you can potentially survive this, if you just keep your body straight, but you do actually want to keep your body straight and not loose, because loose, you're likely to flop over and, you know, hurt yourself seriously. You want to get in their feet first, though. When you are on solid ground, this does not work. When you are on solid ground, no matter how you drop from 15 meters, you're going to hurt yourself. Where are we? When he arrived in the western town of Jallenheim... Oops. Oh, I can actually scroll the pages with the mouse wheel. Night. On the morning of his 21st birthday, it didn't take him long to find out who was the richest person most deserving of being burgled. An impregnable palace in a park near the center of town was owned by a mysterious young man named Soybut. Eslav wasted no time in finding the palace and watching it. A fortified palace, he had come to learn, was like a person with quirks and habits beneath its hard shell. It was not an old place. Evidently, whatever money this Soybut had come into was fairly recent. It was regularly patrolled by guards, implying that the rich man was fearful of being burgled. With good reason. The most distinctive feature of the palace was its tower, rising 100 feet above the stone walls, doubtless giving the occupant a good defensive view. Eslav guessed that if Soybut was as paranoid as he guessed him to be, the tower would also provide a view of the palace storehouse. The rich man would want to keep an eye on his fortune. That meant that the loot couldn't be directly underneath the tower, but somewhere in the courtyard behind the walls. The light in the tower shone all night long, so Eslav boldly decided that the best time to burgle was by the light of day, when Soybut must sleep. That would be the time the guards would least expect a thief to pounce. And so, when the noon sun was shining over the palace, Eslav quickly scaled the wall near the front gate and waited, hidden in the crenellations. The interior courtyard was plain and desolate, with few places to hide, but he saw that there were 2 wells. One of the guards used from time to time to draw up water and slake their thirst, but Eslav noticed that guards would pass by the other well, never using it. He waited until the guards were distracted just for a second by the arrival of a merchant in a wagon, bearing goods for the palace. While they were searching his wagon, Eslav leapt elegantly, feet first, from the wall into the well. It was not a particularly soft landing, for, as Eslav had guessed, the well was not full of water but gold. Still, he knew how to roll after a fall, and he didn't hurt himself. In the dank subterranean storehouse, he stuffed his pockets with gold and was about to go to the door which he assumed would lead to the tower, when he noticed a gem the size of an apple, worth more than all the gold there was left. Eslav found room for it in his pants. The door did indeed lead to the tower, and Eslav followed its curving stairwell up, walking quietly but quickly. At the top he found the master of the palace's private quarters, ornate and cold, with invaluable artwork and decorative swords and shields on the walls. Eslav assumed the snoring lump under the sheets was Soybut, but he didn't investigate too closely. He crept to the windows and looked out. It was going to be a difficult fall, for certain. He needed to jump from the tower, past the walls, and hit the tree on the other side. The tree branches would hurt, but they would break his fall, and there was a pile of hay he had left under the tree to prevent further injury. Eslav was about to leap when the occupant of the room woke up with a start, yelling, "My gem!" This sentence doesn't make any sense. Eslav stared at him for a second wide-eyed. They looked alike, not surprising since they were brothers. Eslav Errol's story is continued in the book Warrior. Okay. Well, we're not going to read that book, but this book has a value of 60, so we're going to take this. Nothing there. Arrows, amethyst, gold. Let's go. This is empty. And I think we're actually gonna call it... Oh! I said we were gonna call it quits here, but then we got attacked, so let's call these things... Let's kill these things, and then we're gonna call it quits for today. Because we're already at 10 p.m. We're gonna do the rest of this quest tomorrow. And I'm also gonna have to look up what is actually, you know, what is actually good to sell and keep and whatnot, because this game has way too much loot and the vendors apparently can bottom out their inventory, so that's bad. Oh, you shut up. So I'm really gonna have to be careful about what I actually take with me and whatnot. For now, it's it's been okay so far. So yeah, we're gonna continue tomorrow at 7 p.m. Vienna time. Until then, thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you had some fun. I hope to see you again tomorrow, and have a good night. Bye bye.